Hey, welcome to the Handmade Daily. Today's project is the sugar skull necklace. I'm going to show you what you need for your supplies. Go ahead and gather that up and then let's get started. For this project, you're going to need acrylic paints, dotting or sculpting tools, toothpick, a skull mold, this is a Wilton candy mold, an eye screw, polymer clay, and a ball chain 16 to 18 inches. First, you're going to start out by conditioning your clay. Just work it through thoroughly to where everything's mixed up, there aren't any cracks in it. And you want to work with a piece that's about the size of whatever mold you're going to be working with. So just take a candy mold like I did and cut all the way around. That way it's easier to work with. Use some cornstarch or water. Water works also. And just dust that on. And roll your clay to where it's smooth and there's no cracks, to where it's uniform. And then just take it and press into the mold. Get in all the nooks and crannies, that way you can pick up all the details. Make it as flat as you can on the back because we are making a pendant out of it. You want it to lay flat. And just press your finger all the way around to get all the details. See how it all shows up? And there you go. You can also use a silicone mold. This is one that I made. And I'll just show you how I prefer to use the silicone mold, but I used a candy mold because I couldn't find one, and then I made this one out of the candy mold. So just press all the way around, and then you just kind of lift and shake. If you shake it out, it'll just come out. And ta-da! I'm going to press with my sculpting tool just into the eye sockets to make them a little deeper, give them a little more dimension. And there we go. Just bake that to the specifications on the back of the polymer clay package. This is one that I made out of cold porcelain, and you can see how much smaller it is. I just let it set out and shrink, and then I took this small one and I created a mold out of it also, and that way I had a smaller version as well. Works well for rings. So these are both from silicone mold and the candy mold. They turn out pretty much the same. And I'm just going to go ahead and get that baked. Before I bake the other one though, I'm going to create a rose. And just start out with like a long flat oval. Pretty simple. Just roll it up. Ta-da! You can stop right there. Or fan the edges of the rosette, the rosebud out. And then I'm going to take another dot, flatten it, and just press it all the way around. I'm going to add 3 of them and just make the rose a little fuller. And like I said, you can just leave it as the rosebud, or you can create a fuller rose like I am now. And just press the ends all the way around to where they're stuck together, and then just start rolling it between your fingers like this, and don't force it, just roll lightly until you start getting that, and you just continue rolling back and forth until you get this long skinny piece, and basically it just works the excess clay out kind of effortlessly. And just pinch that with your nail. And then ta-da, see, we've got a rose. We're going to take the dotting tool or the sculpting tool, and I'm going to press into the clay kind of on the side of the skull so that the rose sets into it. And just press. You can put some TLS in there also to make sure that it bakes all together. So this piece is baked. We're going to go ahead and we're going to take a pencil, and I'm going to just kind of draw out my design. Pencils are great for doing this before you start painting because you can erase any mistakes. So I just added a spider web up at the top, and then I'll add some, I don't know, just some little details. We'll put a flower around the eye socket That's pretty traditional sugar skull design, but I'm just going to do it on the one side. Ta-da! See? And I did mess up a couple of times doing this, so using a pencil to get everything kind of mapped out before you start using paint, it's just smart. So finish up your design, then take some acrylic paint. This is where our toothpick is going to come in. It's easier to use a toothpick to go over really fine details than using a paintbrush. I can't ever get it super thin when I'm using a paintbrush, no matter what. And using a toothpick, the lines just come out really clean, really even. There's our spider web, and then I'm going to take this teal turquoise color and this smaller dotting tool, and I'm going to fill in the flower that I had put around the eye socket. And the dotting tool is a lot easier than using a paintbrush also, especially with these petals. It kind of creates the rounded petal effect without any effort. And then I'm going to let the flower dry before you start doing this, but after it's dry, and that only takes a few seconds, outline it with black all the way around. And after you've got the flower outlined, then go into the eye socket and fill in both eye sockets. And then just fill in the other details. Here at the bottom, I had created like this little flower and vine design, put a few dots. I'm going to go in between the teeth with black and then just across. I'm not going to actually outline the mouth. And there we go. That's our finished design. I think it turned out really well. The eye screw, you can find them in the jewelry department, or I get them from Lowe's or Home Depot. So just press it in there to where it sticks on its own, and then start twisting. Go really slowly when you're twisting the eye screw in so that it goes in completely evenly and not through the back. And then this is just the Fimo gloss. You can use whatever varnish or gloss you want to. If you don't, the paint will scratch off. You'll get chips and stuff in it. So I always finish my pieces like this. And then this is our finished piece. It's got some shine to it. And then I'm going to finish it off by just adding the ball chain, and we're done. I hope you have fun with this project. Go ahead and subscribe to the Handmade Daily channel for more tips, tricks, and how-tos.